So guys, what happens when you test a Forex trader via trade copy? When you test them with real money, even though it's only $100, is it a scam or does it live up to the claims? Let's check this out on what's happening so far. Of course, this is J6.4 again, and you know what we do, part of Opkee investors, and we put the gurus to the test with real money in real time, and we do this with small accounts. Now, what do we call a small account? Anywhere between $100 and $500 to put it to the test to see if we can find these robots, these services that actually works for effectively broke people. Let's see what we have going on here. Okay, guys, let me just go through and just give you a little backstory here. You know what we do. So we put them to the test. How? Whenever someone has a claim, the first thing we're going to do is ask for proof. So we want them to have a MyFX book page at the very least, where that's a third party organization that tracks each and every trade in real time. And what's even better than that, sometimes we'll ask for what's called an investor password, where we can go into their platform and even get a better indication of what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then we'll forward test many times. What we mean by forward test is we'll run their system on a demo account, or we'll just skip the demo account and run it with a very small account, again, which is anywhere between $100 and $500, because we would rather invest in that just to see, okay, are we getting the same results as what you're claiming based on your day-to-day trades, your real-time trades, or is it something totally different? So let's take a look at what was promised. This trader, guys, he trades the Australian market for the most part. And when he sent me his results, he's a private trader. When he sent me his results from September 1st to all the way through August of 25, September 24, August of 25, they're up 209%. Now, when we say that they're up 209%, that's on their conservative money management, So we actually tested it with real money on the conservative side, also on the very, very high risk side. I typically like to go high risk with $100 because the worst thing that can happen is I lose $100. The upside is it just absolutely runs and kills. And then I'll put in certain uh, conservative money management types of risk settings. So let's see what this shows us right here. So 209%, 18% drawdown, which is very good. But remember, this is on the conservative basis, 18% drawdown. If you don't know what that means, just join our free Patreon, because I'll put links there for you beginners, just so I won't have to repeat it over and over again. So the deposit here was $300. Withdrawals, you see these red dots? If you're familiar with my FX book, those red dots are just withdrawals. In other words, they take money along the way. So even they put in 300 bucks, they've already taken their money back out. I don't know if they reallocated. I don't know exactly what they do with their profits. That's totally up to them. It will be totally up to you as well. So they've already taken out their initial investment and a little bit more, which is cool. Let's look at their history. This is really cool here, guys. This is 2004 September through December. You see 11% here, 16% here, 9% in November, and 6% in December. We look at 2025, and now remember, 2025, you still had to go through the Trump tariffs, so this will tell us a lot. 13% in January, 8% February, March, 13%, 6% in April, and that's when some of those little tariff whipsaws start happening, and they started going crazy. 11% in May, 10% in June, and 11%, almost 12% in July, and we're up. Well, he's up 1.6%. Now, remember, guys, this is the trader itself. We're copy trading, so there can be some variances in the results that I'm getting and the results that they're getting. Let's talk about that. Now, let's go to my particular accounts. Okay, so I started this test, this real money test, and this one with $300 because that's the conservative play. And we started that June 7th. So we're up 16%, and now it's not even July, it is August 5th. So as you can see right there, we are up 16.2%. Now that's super, super conservative, and it didn't perform quite as well as the trader's account. Why is that? Because remember, this is trade copier. It's copying from one broker to another broker. You're going to have some variances in anything from spreads to execution time, quite a few things. But guys, this is 16.4% in less than a month. Well, 2 months, I think, in less than 2 months. So here you see 2025. In June, we were up 7.3. July, we were up 7.5, and then we're in August right now where we're up almost 1%, and this is the 5th of August. So very, very good, even though it's not as much as they were showing, but that's only because we're not connected. We are connected to his main account, but we are not the main account, and therefore you're going to have some broker differences and things of that nature. Now let's look at, and when you look at this, guys, this says $300, and that's conservative, very conservative money management on that. Now let's take a look at, I wanted one to really accelerate, so I also, on a whole different broker, I put $100 into Coinexx, and I wanted to see which would have the best execution time to, which would be closer to the broker that they're using. So I decided just to throw in $100 as I promised. $100 is in the Coinexx, so therefore the risk profile is going to be a lot higher with this. But again, worst thing that can happen is I lose $100, right? So this one in 1 month has 26%, but it's still 3 times the risk, right? And we had a drawdown of 14%. We started quite well. And you see these are drawdowns right here, guys, where they're equity drawdowns. We put in, you can see there, $103. The balance now is 130. When we're looking at 22% in July, and we're up 2.4% in August so far. And again, this is August 5th, so it's 5 days. All right. So we're really looking at how well this is going to perform. What are my expectations? If I get 12 to 15% a month on the super, super high risk without blowing the account, I am cool. I'm really good with that. Oh, let me show you something else. And this is something else that many people don't take into account is when you're trading, like any other business, you're going to have expenses. If you're doing signals, if you're doing robots, if you're doing trade copy, you're going to have to pay expenses. And that's very seldom in the equation because you never know when you're getting your money back. Especially, guys, if you're trading with something as small as $100, right? So you've got to know, like, when is the $100 or when are you in profit? Now here's a very simple but unrealistic spreadsheet. So I can put my initial investment in here, which I put $100. What are my expectations? Well, since we were doing 20% and 30% with that $100, I'm going to split it somewhere in the middle and just say, all right, 12% a month. That's what I wanted to average. All right. Remember, this is this is totally unrealistic because there will be months that you don't win. So this is assuming a lot, and the expectations are unrealistic. But just for fun, I just want to see. Now let's just say the monthly expenses I'm paying $80 a month, $20 a week for this particular trader. So in 60 months, that $100 plus my monthly expense, it still grew to $89,000. Again, I did say that it's unrealistic only because nothing compounds perfectly, as we well know. But you'll see in this column, this is the initial investment compounded monthly, as you can see here. And then what are the profit and the losses when it comes to a monthly basis. So you can see if the monthly expense is $80, we're not in profit for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But that's more realistic. But when we go down to the bottom, we still see that uh, $89,000. We're $89,000 in pure profit. What is this? 89.57 instead of 89.75. But this is just fun, and it helps me keep track of where I am and my money. Now, what if I wanted to throw $20 a month in here as it's growing? So this is like dollar cost averaging. It may be up one month, it may be down one month, but I'm just going to put $20 in on this, and this is called a project. It's ridiculous. So we put this in, and let's just see where we are now. Where is the enter? So that knocks it all the way up to $239 in 60 months. $239,000. I'm sorry. I know it's a little ridiculous, but it's still fun. So what if we decided to put $500 in? Let's lower the risk profile to 7%, which I'm cool with. That's going to be the conservative estimates on this. And then we have $20. Oh, I hit enter. Now we're looking at $45,000 with a smaller expectation, which this is doable. Even if I put 2.5% a week. Now let's go with 2% a week, which is 8% a month. And that even changes it to $75,000 with $500 and $20 a month. And this is conservative. And as you can see, we're in profit after the second month. So this is fun. If you want this, you can download a lot of these free things in our free Patreon group. And even if you'd like to copy this and test this for yourself, you can do that in our Patreon group as well. So just go out there and make some real money, and I will keep you posted week to week, month to month on this particular trader. Again, go out there and make some real money, guys.